Alright, this is my fourth look with Kourtney Kardashian. This is with the orange lip, which I loved so much. I'm going to first start off with some chapstick because my lips were busted, and I'm going to be using a matte lip later. Then I'm using the Porefessional by Benefit, and I'm putting that all over my face to create a smooth surface. For my foundation, I'm going to be using the L'Oreal Infallible. Right now I'm in the color 007, and I'm putting that all over my skin. And I wanted to make sure that this was a really flawless skin because the look is very much driven to focus on the eyes and the lips, so the skin really should be quite perfected. And always make sure to blend on the bottom of their jawline. For my concealer, I'm using the Loreal True Match in W4 to 5, and I'm putting that underneath my eyes and blending that out with a buffer brush as well. For my eyelid primer, I'm using the Benefit Stay Don't Stray. Is that right? Yeah, Benefit Stay Don't Stray primer. And I leave a little too much there. So I'm making sure that I blend it out really well, wiping some of it off. And then I'm using one of the highlighting powders by Anastasia Beverly Hills on my actual lid so that it creates a softer surface. And then putting banana powder underneath, banana color underneath my eyes to set my concealer. In this look, yeah, my lashes were kind of gross after this. In this look, her brows were really dramatic and pretty thick. So I'm also having a hard time with this because I'm not used to just doing this and then looking crazy. So forgive me if I do. But I'm also using a contour color just to kind of blend out on the transition of my crease. Not really to add color, just to add some dimension. So I'm starting off with two liners. The first one I was using was the Physicians Formula Black Liner. I started to draw on this, but then it was a little bit just, it wasn't skipping. It just wasn't as like opaque as I needed it to be with the products that are underneath. So I chose not to, oh fuck. So I chose not to continue with that, and I used the liquid liner on the other eye because it just seemed to work better. It was much smoother for me, and it's kind of interesting because I used to only like gel liners. Now I'm way more into the liquid ones. So I'm doing this as a base. It doesn't have to be completely perfect. The line up top doesn't have to be super slick because we're actually going to blend it out with an eyeshadow. Unfortunately, the whole clip with the eyeshadow didn't show up because my camera, it's not that it shuts off. It's not that it dies, it just shuts off. I don't know how, I don't know these cameras. So sometimes I just don't catch it when it shuts off. But what I did was I just kind of smudged black eyeshadow all over the eyeliner, and I smudged it upwards to kind of look blended and blurred. Now I'm using the voluminous L'Oreal mascara on my top lashes, and then I'm going to be using the CoverGirl one on the bottom. And I'm just kind of touching up here and there with that carbon shadow. For my blush, actually I'm a liar. For my bronzer, I'm using Shadester like always for years and years. I'm using that on my nose to kind of create some dimension. She was very tan in this picture. The filter and whatever they used were very tan, so it's kind of difficult to see exactly what the color was, but I did see that there was some definition on her nose. And then I'm using that same color on my perimeters of my face. I'm putting that all over to make me look very tan and glowy. And then I'm doing that all along my cheekbones. With the CoverGirl Mascara, I'm putting that on my lower lash line. There wasn't a lot of action down there, so I just pretty much kept it pretty blank and simple. So I didn't really do too much down there, but put this mascara. Then I'm using the Peaches Blush by MAC, and I'm putting that on my cheeks in the front of my cheekbones. So I'm making the prune face so that my cheekbones pop out. And I'm using this Shadester again with while pinching my brush and kind of carving out the cheekbones, and then using some of that soft focus powder to carve out underneath, kind of like a reverse contour. Then with my Bobbi Brown Shimmer Brick in Apricot, I'm using that as my highlighter with this awesome e.l.f. brush, the blush brush that I've had forever. And I'm putting that on my cheekbones, and then I'm going to put that on my nose. and on my Cupid's bow. The trick with the Kourtney Kardashian looks is that she always highlights that Cupid's bow, always. And then I'm blowing my lashes to hell to try to make them get dry because I'm using two lashes at the same time. So I just kind of mix them, like kind of squeeze them together, and then make sure that the glue was pretty thick on there, and then put that lash on the lash line. It was kind of cool because you can really do a more dramatic lash with this eye because it hides most of the lash. Then I'll just kind of fix myself, trying to zhuzh up a little bit before I move on to the lip. The lip was also something I didn't really capture, but I'm using the lip liner by NYX. This is a waterproof version. It's always a really good idea to start off with a lip liner whenever you're doing a dark or red or any kind of like really pigmented lip, because it just kind of makes everything so much easier and it helps you blend in the colors better. And then for the lipstick, I'm using Dangerous by MAC. It looks more red on here, but it was actually a little bit more orange in person. So I just wish that it captured, but it did not. So just make sure that you exfoliate and really, prepare your lips for this. But this was pretty much it. But then I started to notice that the glue was a little shiny. So I took some of that eyeshadow again with that flat brush and I brushed it along the lash line to kind of disguise that shininess. And it also disguises the lash band a little bit better when you do that. So this was the entire look. I hope you guys enjoyed it. This is a pretty simple look. It's very, very easy to create. It's a nice statement look too when you have like a really sleek hair and like black and just pow. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I have a couple more looks coming up with this Kourtney K little mini series. So let me know which one you guys are dying to see. Bye guys.